Welcome to the Creatively by Estelle podcast. My name is Estelle Avberry and I'm your host. This show is for creative and performing artists, and this is your space to feel creative, to feel inspired and motivated every single week, and to be given tactical tips and tools for you to reach your creative goals and fulfill your purpose as a creative person. You are welcome here. Let's get into the episode. Happy Monday. How are you? How's it going? Welcome to the Creatively by Estelle podcast. So happy you're here. I'm so grateful that you chose to listen this morning. And I hope that you're excited for the week to come. I am definitely excited for a little bit more rest. I actually did this short play this past weekend and in my city. And it was really fun to be a part of it. And we had like our opening night. And we had a few shows this weekend. It was so much fun. But I definitely am ready for a little bit of a rest in my evenings this week. So yeah, it was just, I learned a lot. And actually, I think I'll do like a reflection episode on that whole process, like creatively and how that just really pushed me and challenged me in a new way, which is wonderful and awesome. And really why, you know, one of the things that I think is really beautiful about like putting yourself out there creatively is like you will be stretched, you'll be pushed. So yeah, that was a really great part of my weekend, and so I'm looking forward to the week. I hope you had a good weekend, that you're looking forward to this week as well. And yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Say it with me. It's gonna be good. Okay. Speaking of great, actually, our episode today is going to be my interview with Deanna Giulietti. Finally, I'm so excited to share this interview with you. Deanna is so fun and so full of life and energy. You're going to love this conversation with her, that I had with her. And I mean, you guys, just after you listen to this conversation, I know you're going to love her. Like, reach out to her, follow her, see what she's doing, repost this episode and tag her and tag me as well, because I'd love to see that you enjoyed it. So, and I know Deanna would as well. So Deanna, if you don't know, she is a content creator. She's a TikTok star with over 1 million followers on TikTok and thousands of followers on Instagram and subscribers on YouTube as well. So she creates a lot of content, really all about like all centered on like hyping people up, hyping herself up. And she's really popular for the Utada, the OOTD, the outfit of the day videos that she started making during COVID, and that blew up, where she really just talks about how, like, she talks about her outfit and hypes herself up in that way. And that encouraged other people to really start to show themselves love as well and enjoy dressing up and being themselves as well. So she is really big on that, and she's very encouraging, very enthusiastic. She draws you in with her energy and her enthusiasm. So I know that you're going to love her. Make sure you follow her on all of those platforms. She's also an actor. She's a performer, musical theater performer. She's performed on cruise ships. She has performed on, you know, multiple different stages and theaters, and she studied musical theater in school as well, and she talks about that as well. So I think if you are in the performing arts space, if you're a creative or content creator, regardless, you're going to love this conversation, because she shares about her how she got into content creating, and she shares about her experience as an actor as well. And she also talks about some exciting new projects that she has coming up, including a movie deal that she just got, and she's already filmed the movie actually, and it's a Christmas movie that will be coming out at the end of this year. So definitely look out for that, and she'll talk about that a little bit more, as well as a swimsuit line that she collaborated with Sisterly Swim on, and so many more things. So she has a lot of projects coming up. All right, let's get started. Without further ado, my interview with Deanna Giulietti. All right, so we're here with the Deanna Giulietti, TikTok star, content creator, actor, incredible person and hype woman on social media and obviously in person now that I've met her. So I'm so excited that you're here, Deanna. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for even having me on, reaching out to me. Like I'm here. I'm yours. The whole time I'm yours.
Guys, like already, do you understand why I love this girl so much? Like she's already hyping me up and being so kind and she's so sweet. And I'm so excited to talk to her today because I'm excited to talk to you today, Gianna, because you have inspired me since the moment that I first saw one of your TikToks. I think it was when you were like wearing like blue and you had just taken a TikTok and someone had been really rude to you like while you were doing your TikTok, someone had said something really rude and degrading, and you were talking about it, and you were just so fired up, and you were just being yourself, you know? You were just being yourself, and you were talking about what you didn't like about that situation, right? And then you turned from that and you started like hyping us up, right? And you said something, and I think you made a separate video or something, and you were just being like, you know, just be yourself. Be yourself. Don't think about what anyone else is saying to you or saying about you. And you were just like turning that situation around and using it as a way to hype people up. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is amazing.
I love that. Oh, I love
Yeah,
that. That's what literally has turned into my entire like channel, and how it grew so quickly was genuinely how I deal with those kinds of situations of like
I,
people are going to say whatever they want, but like it if you let it affect you, your happiness will go down. But if you just continue to be as extra and as you are, no one can hurt you. Like truly, no one can hurt you when you're focused on your own growth and journey and path and who you are. It doesn't matter what people are saying, they're already behind you,
right.
you know?
Wow, that was for free. That was free. That was just free. Everyone, like, we could end the conversation here. That was amazing. Wow, we haven't even got into it, Deanna, and you're already giving us gems. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So, but obviously, I always say, I've been saying a lot on interviews, like, everyone has a journey. And, like, the fact that you're here, you know, now, it's the middle of COVID, you've built this incredible community online. It's not just like an audience, it's a community because everyone really does hype each other up in your comments. Everyone loves you. Everyone loves, you know, talking to you and to each other in your comments. And you've built this and at the same time you're an actor. Like you were in the national tour of Jersey Boys, right? And you've done acting in cruise ships and you're going to tell us all about this, but like it's incredible because where you are now, like everyone who is doing what they love and is doing incredible things, you also had a start, you have a journey, right? And you're continuing on your journey. So I would love for you to share, like, so far as an actor and as a content creator, like, what has your journey been like? What are some, you know, points in maybe your childhood or growing up where that you feel like were really turning points for you and for you to become who you are now as a content creator, as an actor, as an enthusiastic hype woman, you know, like what do you think were really important parts of your story that brought you to where you are now?
Okay, that is a loaded question,
That
but
was a loaded
how
question.
I feel like in general, because I do get this question a lot of like how I am. And I really have thought about it. And I think it is leading with gratitude in everything. Everything. Every part I've ever gotten, I've never once thought to myself, oh my God, like I don't deserve this part or why me? Never. It's always been, I am so grateful to take on this opportunity. We're going to kill it. We're going to thrive in it. So I think that kind of like leads into anything like big token experiences. I remember I grew up with the best music teachers and drama teachers that are so like under credited in our society. Like my music teacher from first freaking grade, Mr. Campbell, like supported me, nourished me, was like, you have something, your voice is something. So I knew from when I was 6 that, oh, I have something that's kind of special, that this man like thinks can take me somewhere. That's amazing. Then my drama teachers, right? Like Mrs. Chorney, oh my gosh, Miss Chorney, Miss DeMayo, like all through my high school experience, like truly from that they were like pivotal moments for me. Like my teachers like fully saw something in me, and then I would take it home to my parents and I'd be like, I think I can sing, and my parents would be like, fierce, go for it.
Period.
So, period. They were like, "Do you think you can sing or can you sing?" And I'd be like, "I can." They were like, "Then start saying that." And I was like, "Wow, like, okay." So honestly, that's privilege. Like, I had the best teachers, and then going home, the best supportive parents and family that also were like, "Go for it, Deanna. Like, if that's what you think you can do, don't even like, don't even hesitate. Own it, do it." And that was like pivotal. It 100% is who I am today of that. Like that's my mindset of like, no, I don't want to say, "Ooh, I could maybe do that." I already go into it like I can do that. That audition is mine because I can do it. I have the training. I have the training to back it up. I've spent years on this. I've been to every voice teacher in the world. I've nourished this gift. Like, let's go for it. And
Yeah.
it's from literally, I think, years of full support.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That's incredible. And like, cheers to your parents, cheers to your teachers, right? All those people who are so influential and, who we, not only who we become, but like how we see ourselves. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
that you saw yourself like, I have something, rather than like putting yourself down or being like, oh, maybe no. Like, your parents were like, no, like, you absolutely can do that. And that reframing of those statements and like that affects how you think about yourself.
oh my God, I've written some of these like conversations down because I was like, oh, my kids, like I'm gonna be saying that to them. Like I do not want to forget, like, this is word for word what this professor said. This is word for word what my mom said. That completely changed the course for me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like as much as like I, I wish I could say there's like an easy trick to being like, yeah, like I get so excited about these things and I feel like I can conquer the world. It comes from that supportive like community I grew up in,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, I love that. That's so beautiful. My parents are Nigerian immigrants, so they came to New Jersey when, a couple years before I was born from Nigeria, and because of that, like, I grew up, obviously I was born in America and grew up with that like dual, like, I'm an American, but I grew up in a Nigerian family and household and church community and whatnot. And so like their mindset is very much like, you can do what you set your mind to. And like, we were never allowed to say negative things in our house. Like, to this
Love
day, absolutely. Like, to this day, like, you don't say like, oh, I can, oh, I'm bad at, no, like, my parents don't take it, they won't accept it. Like, you have to speak life. There's power in the tongue, and there's power in the words that you say. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we were always raised, and that's what we were always encouraged, exactly like what you're saying.
Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And so true. Like I will not even like my friends, right? Like I will not let them say bad things about themselves. So I'm like, not only is that bad for you, I'm like, I don't also want that around me. Like, don't be saying that. Like, I would never say that to you. So don't speak to yourself that way. Like, same. I never say negative things to myself. Wow,
Right.
that you're so right. Oh my God, the power of the tongue. It's so true. Like,
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
so keep it beautiful, keep it love, keep it light.
Right. Right. Like, feel the feelings, absolutely, but like, never stay there. Never stay there, and don't let your words, keep you in that. You know what I mean? Like, let your words be what bring you out of that, right? And bring you to change your mindset. Like you said, like the gratitude, leading with gratitude. I love that part as well. That's so cool.
Oh, I love that.
Wow, I'm already loving this. But what you said is so interesting too, going back to the gratitude and going back to um how your personality was formed with all the support, right? But at the same time, because you are an actor and you are putting yourself out there on social media all the time, and just because I feel like when you have a personality like yours, where you are just yourself and you're bold and you're confident, there will always be opposition. But especially when you're being yourself, and especially when you're pursuing a career that involves a lot of rejection, typically, although, rejection is redirection and we don't look at it as rejection, but at the same time, there is opposition. There are going to be people who say, oh, you can't do this. Like, who do you think you are? What's your real job? Like, what are you actually doing with your life? You know what I mean? So like, how have you, and what opposition have you encountered? And then like, how do you fight back? How do you keep going in spite of opposition? And yeah, what's that been like for you?
I would say I don't know this exact quote, so I'm going to just say what I believe it was. It's like when you focus so much on your own growth, like and watering your seed, you don't worry about how tall the sunflowers are growing. You know what I mean? You're so focused on the beautiful orchid you're becoming. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like that is the only thing that got me through all of the auditions because it's constant. It's constant. It's always there. You have to know going in, it's always there. Every audition room, every single person's looking at you. Every single person in the waiting line is like, what does she have? Oh, she's too short. Oh, she's too tall. Oh, she's got brown hair. And this audition is for a blonde. Like everyone around you is going to be making judgments at you and coming for you. And the only way to get through it is to focus on you 100%. I was working 3 jobs to make it to these 5 a.m. Auditions so that I could get seen at 8 a.m. so I could run to my job. And it's like 3 hours of a mind game. You're talking to people who want you to fail. So all you have to do is be like, and there are some gems. I met some beautiful souls that are truly also just working on their journey and their growth. Absolutely. But there are some that are like, what are you singing? Because they're going to sing that cut before you and to throw you off. Like that, I mean, it happens, but you have to be so like focused on you and your growth and that's what gets it out of it. That's what gets you out of it. One specific time, I was auditioning for Moulin Rouge, and I went at 5 in the morning, and as usual, and then to the audition at 8 a.m. The girl who was in front of me kept asking what I was singing, and I told her I was going between 2 songs, Total Eclipse of the Heart and I Kissed a Girl. And she sang Total Eclipse of the Heart right in front of me. And I had practiced it. It's my go-to song. And I was like, I'm still gonna sing it. I'm still gonna sing it. I walked in there, I strutted and I put this on the piano and I said to the guy, I was like, I'm gonna sing something you've never heard before. And he's like, what? The song starts, he starts laughing. I got a final call back from the open call. He was like, I'm sending you straight to finals, like you're in. And I was like,
I
it's
love
right there.
that.
I was when that could have thrown me. You know what I mean? Her doing that could have completely knocked me off and been like, "Oh my god, now I'm in trouble. What am I going to sing?" But I was like, "No, I know myself. Like her journey's her journey. Like that. I don't want to say karma because I don't want to like put that on her, but I will say that journey for her is going to lead her one place, and I went straight to finals, and that's on that.
That's crazy. First of all, that's a crazy story.
Crazy. Crazy. And now I'll see her, she'll like message me and I'll be like,
Ye-
I'll be like, I don't forget sweet cheeks. I don't.
Oh
So
my gosh. Totally Eclipse of the Heart. Wow. First of all, as soon as you said that, the song started playing in my head. It's probably gonna be in my head all night long, and I'm fine with that.
me too.
Oh my gosh, that's a great story, and it's so true. Like, just be yourself and focus in on what you're doing. Focus in on what you're doing, how you can grow, what you can learn from a situation, right?
And it slowly you stop thinking about like other people's journeys. Like I never judge other people because I'm too busy working over here.
Right.
I'm not worried about what you're doing. Like what's another one of my favorite quotes is don't accept criticism from people you wouldn't ask advice from.
Yeah.
Like it's right there. Like if someone I don't know wants to throw negativity my way, I would never have asked them anyways. It's all right, keep living.
Right.
I'm keep going. I'm keep focusing on me. But then you have that group of people that you trust, and you're like, okay, like you check in with them for your critiques when you need them. But other than that, like it's your growth, it's your orchid you're nourishing. You know.
Yeah. That is such a great mindset to have, especially like for where you are in your life, building your community online, and being so open online and sharing so much online. Like the fact that you're determined to share online. I mean, from my perspective, it's because you love to hype other people up. It's because you love to share. And that just seems like your personality, right? You're just being yourself.
I'm an oversharing queen. Like I love it. I'm like, is this too much? Who knows? But I'm telling you, you
Right.
know.
We love an oversharing queen, but like it works for you, right? Because you're not like putting on airs, like you're just being yourself. But
Yes.
and the fact that you are like, but this is who I am, and like I'm on, this is my journey, this is what I'm doing, I'm growing, I'm working on myself. If you like it, great. If not, also great. Like, you know,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great mindset to have, especially in this day and age with social media and everything. Like, it's easy
Oh,
to bash it all, but like when you have that mindset, and it's a little bit easier, I guess, to move forward. I don't know. What were you gonna say?
no, it, especially with social media, it can be so hard.
Yeah. Yeah. But you did a really good job. Like I think you did a great job of just keeping your community and keeping your space positive and uplifting. You know what I mean? So I know you started at the beginning of COVID, and I know you've told this story a lot, so you don't have to go into all the details, but for anyone who doesn't know, like, who you are and like how you actually built what you've built online as, a content creator on TikTok, on Instagram, and all the opportunities that have come since then. How did that all start? How did building a community even happen for you, like, and connecting online? How did that become a thing for you? And then, like, what has it been like so far, I guess?
Ooh. How has it been so far with having this whole community?
Yeah.
I never would have expected that this happened. I never would have expected. I just was like, let me just share my life. Honest to God, COVID, like moving back home with my parents. I love my parents. I have a great relationship with them. I felt I was lacking so much creativity. I was missing performing. I was missing the stage. I'm absolutely an extrovert. I'm absolutely an extrovert. So I like craved being around other people and was forced to be isolated. It was like, where do I go? How do I do this? So it just started by me being open about my loneliness, open about like who I am, and finding that community that really resonates just with like people also as like extra extroverted as me, or not even extra or extroverted, just liking that. People who are like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
love that energy, like I want a little bit more of that in my life. Like how can I have that?" That community just became like all of a sudden my people. I was like, "Oh my god, I found a way to be extroverted in such an isolating, like, and terrible time." Like it was scary. It was miserable, but it was like to the point where there was nothing we could do but learn TikTok dances. You know what I mean? They're like, we are not the scientists. We're not the we were just sitting and waiting for information. So I was like,
Right.
okay, like in this time, let's find something to do so I'm not just working construction with my father, like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
flourish to the greatest group of supportive, loving, hype women. My percentile is like 98% women. And I was like, yes, that's the energy that I love. Like good love. And I've got a lot of mothers that follow me as well, like single moms who not just single moms, also moms in good relationships too, but very much so like trying to find themselves again. And it's like I've my mind has just been blown on like how being authentically myself, genuinely sharing a story or two, or sharing my auditions, or sharing my days with people, have inspired people to get out of their comfort zone and treat themselves better and treat themselves with love. It's amazing. This community is amazing.
Yeah. And how did that's amazing. That's beautiful. And how did that connect to the Utada, and how did that come about? And
Gosh.
how did that help, I guess, with what you're already doing with connecting with people, being vulnerable, sharing your real life and everything?
I just got plugged in, sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. Okay, from the Utada, how did that start?
Yes.
Utada. Um, okay. I had been seeing it all over my For You page. I don't know what everybody's For You page looks like, but mine was all of these women getting ready for the day, and everybody had the same kind of thing that I had never heard of, the OOTD. I was like, or they would just hashtag, they'd be like, 40 people have asked me for this. And I was like, nobody asks me. Why does nobody ask me? So that's literally how it started. I was like, I'm just going to manifest that people are going to ask me. And I was like, nobody asked, but I am looking good. I am looking fantastic today. I have no idea what I'm wearing or where it's from. And I love it. Exploded because it was like a relatable thing. People weren't people were afraid to post because they were like, nobody cares about me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What I like eventually found out, people were afraid to share their own like outfit of the days because they were like, nobody's asking me or whatever. So the fact that I was just so like harsh with it and like blunt of like, nobody asked me, I don't care, and here it is, and it exploded from there. People started I started counting them at first. At first I was like, 4 people asked today, and the very first one got 4 people to ask. And then it was like, then we were at like 150. We were then at one point it had hit across Instagram and TikTok. It hit
Mm-hmm.
1,000, and I couldn't count anymore. I was like, I'm all set. It's like my eyes are hurting. I can't read these anymore. It's over 10,000. This is incredible. I would be making these every day.
Wow. That's amazing. I've listened to other podcast episodes with you in it, and so I've heard this story before, but I don't get tired of hearing it because the way you tell it is so good. And I want everyone to hear how it began for you because it's so cool. You just like put yourself out there, you're being real, you're being yourself, and this is what happened. I love that story.
It is true. It is true. Honestly, for the people who are listening who are like nervous to put themselves out there or what they've worked for or what they're putting behind themselves, the only person in your way is you. You have no idea what's going to happen. And it could be 4 people that want something from you, but that could spiral into 10,000. You
Right.
got to try. Why not try? Who you stop? What? Why not?
Right. And even like one of those 4 people, like you never know how you being you, you doing your thing, those 4 people, those are 4 human beings, four
Correct.
human lives.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. We forget that.
Yeah.
We for, I mean, way back in the day, I remember I was only I was getting 300 views on videos, and I remember being like, I got some hate from my brother-in-law because he was like, nobody cares, Deanna, and I was like, 300 people care. I was like,
Right.
when's the time you said anything in front of 300 people? Immediately, he was like, I've got nothing left to say.
Right. Like, and it's so, because like you just see numbers, in social media, you just see numbers, and it's like those, like, even if it's 10 people, if 10 people were just like hanging out around you every day, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of people who are listening to you.
It is.
Right.
So,
That's so
yeah.
cool. And each person is so important. Real quick, before we continue with the episode, I want to let you know that if you're a creative person who wants to share your creative gift or whatever you're passionate about with other people and create an online community, a podcast is an amazing way to do it. And you can start a podcast today with Anchor by Spotify. It's such an easy way to make a podcast. Trust me. I'm not a tech person and I did it. So if I can do it, honey, you can too, okay? Anchor has tools to allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. And you can host on Anchor and it will distribute your podcast to platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. So you don't have to worry about, uploading your podcast to all these different sites. And it's everything that you need to make a podcast in one place. And it's 100% free. So there you go. Let's go. Start your podcast, create your online community, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. All right, without further ado, let's continue. I love what you're saying about like just speaking to people who are listening who want to put themselves out there in some way, right? This show is for creatives and performing artists and people who are aspiring to be that, right? Who want to put themselves out there more creatively, who want to be more creative, who want to do the thing that they love, acting, singing, performing, writing, whatever it is. And so what you said about just being like, you're the only one standing in your way. Like there are people on the other side who are waiting for what you have to offer them. Just put it out there, right? Just start.
And for creatives, specifically musical theater creatives, like
Hmm.
so many times before I created a following on social media, I would second guess posting my self tapes, my videos I'm sending in, my singing videos, because I was so nervous what
Right.
people would think of me. Now I will post it no matter what. I'll be like, this is me singing, putting it out there, putting it out there. Because now it's become like a reflex for me. Like I've what is that? I've rehearsed that muscle. I flexed that
Yeah.
muscle. And now it's like, this is me singing. I'm proud of it. I'm posting it. And do you know how many I've seen so many self tapes? I've seen so many videos. So many people message me their self tapes. And if I can do something for them, I will connect them. You know what I mean? Like you never know.
That's
You
so
have
cool.
to put your tapes out there, put your art out there, or else you're sitting on that beautiful talent that you have, you know, and you're
Yeah.
not sharing it. And it's meant to be shared. You were given that beautiful talent to share it.
Oh my gosh. Everything that you're saying is so good. Where to even begin? Deanna, how am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to keep this going? Like, there's too much to unpack here because everything you're saying is so good. Like, I started putting myself out there a little bit more online too over COVID before I even started the podcast, which in and of
Yeah.
itself is a big thing for me. But like, because I grew up singing too, I grew up in the arts, like I told you. Like, I
Yeah.
also had those, singing choir teachers and dance teachers and acting drama teachers that I love too, right? And so, like, when you grow up in the arts, like, you love performing, you love being on stage, absolutely. But, you have like planned and like prepared the show, the production that you're going to put on, right? You've like rehearsed with your choir all year long or all quarter or semester long, whatever, before you like go and do your concert or whatever. But with social media, it's like you like sing or you record yourself, and yeah, you've practiced or whatever, but like it's a little bit more like vulnerable because it's like it's just you and you're putting yourself out there. Literally anyone can see it. It's not just like who bought the tickets or like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, or like your family friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like literally anyone can see it. But at the same time, it's like anyone can see it. Like anyone can see it. People who are gonna connect with you, right? People who are gonna be inspired by you. So it's like you can look at it in a negative way, but you could also turn it around and be like, literally anything can happen. The good could happen too. So that's so cool. And I know that you've inspired someone by saying that. I hope like artists who are listening to this feel encouraged by you because of like you put yourself out there and it's worked for you, right? It's allowed you to connect with people more and to be yourself more online, which is amazing. So yeah. I hope people take that. Take
I
that. I know I'm taking that.
think so too.
And I do want to ask, so I know that I guess congratulations are in order because you did post it online. So it's everyone can know now that you just got a movie deal, right? You're gonna be in a movie?
Insane. How insane. I'm gonna be in a movie. It comes out this December. I can't say the name of the movie yet because I'm waiting for the press release to come out, but I am gonna be in a movie.
That is amazing. I'm so happy for you. When I saw that, I was like, yes, yes, love that for
And
you.
the role, right? The role is basically Mary Delgado in Jersey Boys, which is what I did. I did that on the cruise ship. I did that on Norwegian Cruise.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I mixed it up. I mixed it up.
It's so fine. It's still the role. It's still the role. And I literally, basically, it's Mary Delgado in another form in this holiday movie. Like,
That's amazing.
they sent me the script. They were like, I don't know. We just feel you're perfect for it. And I'm reading it. And I was like, that's my mother. That I'm literally playing the role of my mother.
Oh my gosh.
It's just amazing. And it all clicked. And I'm so fortunate. And, from this experience, well, this is news. I really I decided I was like, I like kind of what you said when you were like in the very beginning when it was just me and you talking about how you're like I want to take a moment and just find out what I want to do, who I am, what I want to do.
Yeah.
I've been thinking that too. I'm like I need to take a moment and I need to say where do I want to go? Do I want to go into fashion, a world I haven't trained for, but a world I love and find a lot of expression through? Or do I want to give it a shot for myself in training and produce movies? So,
Girl, you heard
so
it here first, everyone.
This is literally first. I've literally not told a soul besides the production crew. But I was like, I am going to, here's my big dream. I want to, for the next 10 years, every holiday, produce my own, like, version of a Hallmark movie, a cheesy love story that is based on my followers. I'm going to have my followers write in their love stories, their meet
That's
cutes.
so good.
We're going to pick 2 or 3 each year and literally make love movies about them every holiday, like every holiday season. And I was like, that's perfect. That's me. That's cheesy. That's extra. I get to star in them. Also, other people get to star in them. Like,
That's perfect. I love that for you because it like I mean it combines your acting, it combines your experience with content creation, right? Creating right video form. It combines your love for people and for romance and all that. That's amazing.
and can bring the community in, and I want to see unique stories. I want to bring in my following that is like starting to try script writing and starting, like, bring them along the process, you know what I mean? Like, because obviously I would not be where I am without my following. So I was like, how can I tie that into also making my dreams come true? And it's like, it's just the perfect blend. And I'm not kidding you, the second I had this idea and I had my first meeting with a script writer about it is when I got the call that they want me for this other movie. And I was like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden, I got, there's another movie in June that I have not auditioned for yet, but they also reached out that same weekend that I had this idea. And I was like, that's the universe telling me something. I don't know, whatever people believe. Like, I do feel you're connected to the universe and what you say matters. And I do believe I started saying, I want to lead in the movie direction. I started putting actions towards it. And then all of a sudden, things just came locked into place. And I was like, that's it. That's what I'm supposed to do. You
Oh
know?
my gosh. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Heard it here first. Get ready.
I'm so excited. I'm probably going to release this in March because like
Oh,
during Women's Month, so like Women's History Month. So yes,
yes.
I'm so excited to release this. Oh my gosh, this is amazing, guys! You heard it here first.
Right.
Deanna Giulietti, actor, producer,
Here we go.
screenwriter, all the above. And girl, you can back to the fashion thing. You could be the one designing the clothes. Like you're the one who you can organize the wardrobe. What do you mean?
Thank you. I could also be stylist. Like, lock it
Period.
in. Period.
I'm sorry. Why not?
Exactly. And that's what I've just been thinking. I was like, I can style myself, that's for sure. Like, I know exactly that is the best thing that comes from knowing who you are, is styling yourself from there, and that self-expression. It's like
Yeah.
the second I found out exactly who I was, I never questioned a second of what I was ever gonna wear or my style or anything. So I was like, no, 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 I dress for Deanna. Deanna.
Oh my gosh, everyone has to love you at this point. Like, if you don't love Deanna, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Like, I love everything you're saying. I love how much yourself you're being, and look, just like you said, putting yourself out there, right? And the fact that you are bringing along your community with you and wanting to create something for them and even with them, that's so kind of you. That's so generous. And like that I guess that like service aspect of it, I think is so like you. Like that's beautiful. And it's it's taken you this far and it's only going to take you further. So that's amazing. I love that for you. And I know you're going to do so many great and incredible things. I'm getting more excited for you. Like the more we talk, I'm getting excited for you and for all the things you're going to do. So that's amazing. Oh, I love that. And I mean, do you have any other projects that you'd like to share? I know you did like that you've recently done a collab with Sisterly Swimwear, which is fashion. Like you're already doing the thing.
Okay, that one, wild. That was last year. I was trying a bunch of different bathing suits, and from specifically Pretty Little Thing and some other brand too, and then Sisterly Swim. I tried them all in a
Was it
YouTube.
Aerie? Was it Aerie? Because I feel like I watched that. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't Aerie.
I don't
But
know.
I
It
did
was
watch that video.
Shein. It was Shein.
Oh, Shein. Okay.
So I did those and Sisterly Swim in a YouTube video completely randomly. And I was like, oh my God, the Sisterly Swim material is a million times better. It's so good. And then I started reading up on them. I was like, oh, these are two sisters from Canada who started this business themselves. They are like super eco-friendly and sustainable. I was like, everybody stop the presses. I love this brand. So then they reached out to me and they were like, we are a small business. We're so appreciative of this video. Like, would you like to do further collaboration? And I was like, yes. So since then, that was last summer. Since then, I've been working with them, and the line finally came out. So exciting! I think it's been a few days ago, right? Maybe a week ago.
I
Okay,
remember
maybe
seeing like a week ago, I think.
it came out, and it's like fully designed by me. I was like, it's like bright colors. I love it's like pink, blue, green, but then it's also this like nice flowery 70s print.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just fun, fully my style bathing suits, and I love them. And the daisy print sold out in a day, and I know, and then this royal blueprint sold out 2 days ago too. So I was like, oh, it's doing so well, and it's something I can like fully stand behind. Like these bathing suits, it's a no-brainer. It's the whole line is size inclusive, and it's they make them out of fishnets that they pull from the oceans because their motto is fishnets look better on your curves than in the oceans. I was like, I love this company. And the material is it's like thick, good material. It's not like these see-through, like, I don't even know. On my YouTube, if you go and check it out on my YouTube, there is a bathing suit haul where I'm trying on these bathing suits that have no stretch. If
Mhm.
you get them wet, they would dissolve. They are not good. They're cute, but they're not good material. And then Sisterly swim material is like it's genuine. It's so good. I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud to be working with them.
That's awesome. And I'm proud of you for that because that's a huge deal. Like to have your own line of clothing, bathing suits.
Wild.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And again, it goes back, you put yourself out there. You were being real. You're just sharing, like, hey, I got these swimsuits. And then look what happened.
Right. Exactly. That goes directly back to that. Put yourself out there.
That's
You know what?
amazing.
Even this is a story not even about me. One time I was on vacation with someone and they were like, would you mind taking like a whole fake commercial with me in this soda can and let's just post it and see what happens? This was way back in the day. Neither of us had followings. And we made this whole like video on the beach with her. And I think it was a Pepsi can. And she got a Pepsi sponsorship. She had like
What?
well, and I was like, from even that sunk in my head of like, you really can do anything.
That's
You
amazing.
you just put that work in there, put in that effort, and then put it out there. Those are the key words. Do it, share it. You know.
Yeah, that's amazing. I had Maggie Barra of the Actor Aesthetic podcast and community, online community on my show, or we did an interview a couple weeks ago, and I think we mentioned like something similar about like putting yourself out there and just like releasing your art, basically, like creating the content, you know what I mean? And like for her, it's so incredible. You were on her show, actually. I remember because I love her show and I listened to your guys' interview. And yeah, like you can see from her, like she's a beautiful example of like how she not only is an actor, but she has this online community, you know, and it's like it goes back to that just being able to overcome that fear. Like there is fear, it's there, it's not going to go away.
Right. If you're waiting for that to go away, it's not going away,
Right.
and
But
that's
just,
what stop you from exactly. That's why
yeah,
the only person in your way is you. You got to just do it
I
and
love
trust it. You know, trust it.
yeah.
You made it, so it's good. You know, like you know.
It's so good. And I feel like we can't hear it enough. Like, because we don't always hear it, you know, like there's so much negativity. There's so much putting it down, putting you down. And so we can't hear enough. Like, do it, put
Yeah.
yourself out there, put it out there, take that courageous step. And yeah,
Yeah.
I love that you hit on that and that you have so many good stories about how that's worked for you. I know I feel so inspired and filled up. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So I just want to finish up and like round up our conversation by asking you to share like one piece of advice that you would give to the aspiring creative or and performing artist who's listening to this. You know, maybe they grew up in the arts, And they kind of like push that to the side, and they're like, oh, okay, no, whatever, like, never mind. Or maybe they've always wanted to perform or always wanted to write, or, write a play, be a screenwriter or whatever, design a fashion line. You know what I mean? But they never took those steps, or they're just starting to take those steps, and they need some encouragement. They need a little motivational Deanna pep talk. Like, what would you say to them? And no pressure, like, whatever you say, I know it's going to be good, but just like anything that you would say to them as we round up.
Yeah, okay. Hmm. Where to start with this? If you've come to like that place, what I have learned is I no longer want to wait for someone to tell me I'm good enough. I no longer want to be waiting for that casting director in my emails, biting my nails, waiting for them to say, you've got the role, like, you're worthy, you're enough. No more. I honestly have decided to just constantly make my own work and trust my own work and create it for myself. Now, that can be so hard for people who are just starting because, like, how obviously now that I have a platform, it's easier for me to make my own work and present it. But what I will say is create your own anything, whether that is your self tape, you singing a song, you connecting with a piece of art, spoken word, any poem you want to write, write it, film it, and get it out there. It's like flexing a muscle until it's completely natural for you. Because once you start putting it out there, and creating your own work that way, it will be seen. It will be seen. You're all of a sudden creating an arsenal of your beautiful talent that when you are auditioning for a casting director, there's a strong chance they've already seen your work. There's a strong chance they're like, oh, look at the beautiful work that they've created that they are proud of. You're not waiting for them to tell you you're good for you to continue. You know you have it. And you're presenting full your full self to them. So just keep creating. I think the bare bones of what I'm saying is take your talent, create it, post and share it. Post and share it. We're in a world of social media. If that is in the back of your head of like, oh, I don't want to be posting, I don't want to be reliant on social media, we are really heavily in that world of social media and it only helps you and your art. So it is pivotal to be sharing it. It's pivotal. It's so important to be sharing it and it's worthy of being shared. Don't wait for someone to cast you in the role for you to feel valid. You are valid. Your art is valid. Post it. Post it and share it and only more good will keep coming from it. And then in a few weeks, if you do that same song a second time and you're like, wow, I've grown so much, get rid of the old one, keep the new one. There's so much growth and good that will come from keeping yourself accountable by posting. So
Yeah,
post.
I like
I hope.
that. No, that's so good. That's so good. And what you just said too is so practical. Like, it's a
Right.
great way to show yourself how you're growing, right? It's a great way to like keep in, like you said, like an archive, right? Like you're archiving your growth. That's amazing. You guys, Deanna Giulietti. This is her. This is
Thank you.
her.
Thank you for even having me on here. Thank you for asking me to come. Like, it was a no brainer for me.
I
I'm so excited to listen to this when this comes out. Are you kidding?
Me too. I'm excited. You know how many times I'm gonna listen to this? Yeah, I usually don't even like listening to podcasts, like my own podcast, because it's like weird. But when I have like interviews, though, I love listening to them again because it's the people that I'm talking to. Like, you guys have so much to share with me that I'm learning. So I'm definitely gonna be listening to this, and I really, really appreciate you being on. I really, really appreciate this. You have no idea, because like I feel like I wouldn't have started to, like, I think my embracing my creative side and putting myself out there over COVID and like starting the podcast and all of that, it's because like I think God placed certain people on my path on social media and in person, and you're one of those people who I just started following, and like that repeated encouragement, that repeated motivation from other creatives like you has really helped me. And that's what I'm trying to do on my show. So I just thank you. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you. This made my whole day.
This made my whole day. You know what? I've been looking forward to this for so long. I'm literally, I'm so thrilled. Before we wrap up, I guess, could we do an Utada, or should we do it after? I don't know. We can do it now.
You can do this now. I love it.
Okay, let's do an Utada. I will, I mean, people who are listening, if I ended up keeping this part of the audio, then they'll just be like, what are they talking about? They're just gonna have to go to, they're just gonna have to follow you. But, yeah. Yeah.
Follow me on Instagram, Deanna Giulietti.
Actually, before we do the Utada, can you please tell us how the heck we could connect with you? Because everyone's gonna want to follow you and connect with you. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the things.
Yes. My YouTube is Hype of the Day, and my Instagram and TikTok are Deanna Giulietti. But if you want to message me, I answer my Instagram DMs, but I also answer my email. So my email's on my Instagram as well. So Instagram is best for contacting me for sure.
Awesome. And I'll put everything in the show notes so it'll be easy for everyone to click and follow and get into your community because they better after this conversation. Yay. Thank you so much. Let's do the Utada and I will let you go because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Here we go. Ready?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I kind of slipped out of my chair. Okay. I'm ready. I'm too excited. Okay. Ready?
We have this. The outfit of the
day. The OTD.
The OTD. We're giving the sequins. We're giving the sparkler we are.
Yes.
At us. You go.
We're giving you pink and sweet, honey. We're giving you a little gold touch.
Yes. I would back it up, and peep the shoe. But I move it forward, move it over.
Peep the shoe. Yeah, you can.
On this beautiful podcast, you are a
10 out of 10. Deanna, you are a 10 out of 10. Thank you so much for the OOTD Utada, the Creatively Biased Style podcast with Deanna Giulietti edition. Thank you so much.
There we go.
That made my day. Okay, that was chaotic and I loved it. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I feel hype. I feel excited. I'm going to the mall, and I don't know how those two combine, but they do.
Thank you so much for being on, Deanna. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Creatively Biased Style. I hope you feel encouraged by today's episode as you start this week. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to just share this episode with a friend if you liked it or with someone who you think this could be encouraging to. It would really help the show. Also, if you really loved this episode, if you wouldn't mind going to Apple Podcasts and leaving a review and rating this show, it would really help us reach more people through this show and grow our Creatively community. All right, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week.